Welcome to season 2 of Two Girls Shooting the Shit with Em and Mo. This year, we're working on that energy. Join us as we talk midlife discoveries, spiritual awakenings, pursuing passions, reconnecting with the goddess within, and a whole bunch of other shit. Make sure to follow our socials and join us on Instagram Live Tuesday nights, YouTube Live Thursday nights. If you're looking for bonus content, episode archives, or just another way to connect with us, check us out on Patreon. Thanks for all the love and support. Now let's get to it. Is anybody else talking about quote unquote their woman that way? Like, are there Asian men out there just slamming Asian women? Are there white men out there slamming white women? Like, why? Why?
And I think that's part of the thing with these people who are like using the manipulation and using the codependency to their own advantage. I was watching a YouTube the other day and I had turned it off because the guy said, if you meet a woman, make sure you insult her. And so she can always be thinking about it. So he said something about you go up to her and you say, oh, I love your hair or something like that. And then you look at her nails and say, ooh, like don't even comment or just go,
wow.
Oof. Yeah. And then
someone told men to do this?
Yes. And they were like,
That's
yes,
booty.
preach, sir, preach. And I'm like, this is psycho cult mentality. And this is why I don't get along with most people, because this is the stuff people are sitting there and believing. And I was like, sir, that is abuse.
But does it work?
That is toxic. It worked. Well, it worked for him. I mean, he needed. If you saw him, you would see the manipulation tactics he would need to meet somebody. Shoot.
But there is and this is why stepping into your goddess energy and tapping into the sacred feminine, divine feminine, all that is important, because
so you don't put up with
someone
that.
could say that and it wouldn't even touch your soul. It wouldn't even like, I'm not going to run out and get a manicure just because you said something.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. People are programmed where she's going to think about that
all the time and always have her nails done.
And then so that's the way he one-ups her and gets it. Because see, everything is a game and I'm so sick of it. Like, I don't want to play the game. Like, I know we always talk about the game. I'm not in for it. And if this is what it means, it's what it means. F the game. People would rather be abused than be alone. Like, huh?
You know what? There was when I was in law school, there were a couple guys. I mean, I was older than we both were the same age, but we were older than the majority of the people in the law school, right? So there were these younger dudes who thought they were kind of like players or whatever. And this was around 2010, 2011, 2012. And there was a book, or there was like this guy, there was a show, I think, that taught men how to pick up women, the pickup artist or something like that. There was, I don't know if that's ringing a bell. There was a show on MTV or somewhere, or VH1.
Yeah, they teach you how to manipulate women and stuff.
Yes. And there was
artist,
a book.
Yeah. And he was in China,
and they were all
Japan
about
or
it.
Something. Yeah.
But yeah, and I was just like,
there are a bunch of different groups like that. It's so crazy that you're talking about that, because it's been in the news lately. This podcast or whatever YouTube channel, Fresh and Fit. There are guys who supposedly are uplifting guys, teaching them finance and how to be better men. First of all,
it's
what
called
are their
Fresh and Fit.
Yes,
it's called Fresh and Fit. I have to check it out. I don't know.
Yeah,
what that is. I probably don't want to though.
Yeah, it's in the manosphere, toxic masculinity at its finest. They're recently in the news because they are so disgusted by Black women, which I'm like, okay.
Are they Black men?
Yes.
I don't poop what you eat.
Yeah, I don't poop what you eat. You don't like me? I love
what
it.
Does that mean? I love it. I'm getting all these sayings today.
Oh no, I stole that from Broken Traditions. I can't claim that.
I like that.
But yeah, it was they said they're not night riders. They don't do Shaniqua. Like, they had all these negative connotations.
Night riders.
And the thing is, I'm not even upset about their preferences, but I am kind of disgusted at their need to, instead of saying, I like, this is what I like because I like it, to go and degrade people. And it's just like, okay.
Why are you doing that?
Even came to light. The thing is, this came to light only recently because he got into a fight with Asian Doll or some rapper, a woman who's a rapper on the show. And that's par for the course for that show. They're always getting in fights with women and kicking them out. That's what people watch it for. It's like kind of like shock jockey. Like that's what they do. And it's just like, it's the same, like, it's almost like, I remember watching Howard Stern and he'd bring like naked women in there and stuff.
All kind of crazy
like,
stuff.
Yeah, so it's the same kind of idea, shock jock. But they claim to be like coaches and they'll help you, you know, if you're some kind of...
That's the dangerous part.
That's the thing. And it's like, what are their they don't have any kind of credentials. They themselves have been through things where the guy was bragging about meeting this white woman, and then it turns out he used seeking arrangement, like a sugar daddy site, sugar baby site, to find her.
Never
and
heard of
she
it.
was
Wow.
getting financed by a lot of other guys and did a TikTok on it. Now, is it real? I don't know. Is it fake? Because people are always talking about this podcast. But anyway, it made me think of all of these people are always saying, oh, Black women are so masculine, they're not submissive. And it's like, this is a perfect example of, I could understand being masculine, being more hyper vigilant, being not secure enough to be submissive. When you have people who don't even have any reason to insult you or anything like that, your own people.
Hate you.
Your own people.
Flat out hate you. Yeah.
They're supposed to be the protectors of you, like like in the historic sense. But now it's become a fight, it seems. And it's like that saying, what is it, Color Purple? All my life I had to fight. Yeah. Man and woman should not be out here fighting. Why is it always that the Black man and Black women have to be at odds? Why does it always have to be a war? And is that a method of control? Is making the man more feminine, so acting on emotion, and this is all stereotypes and things like that, and making the woman more, hyper vigilant and masculine and things like that. And I love this. What is it? This quote from Malcolm X, and he says, "The most disrespected person in America is the Black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the Black woman. The most neglected person in America is the Black woman." And I don't even know what year that was, but it was definitely in the 60s. And ain't nothing changed.
Because this is, again, we talked in the previous episode about patriarchal structures, and the same has been done with race. There's layers, there's the intersectionality, like we've discussed too. There's layers. So white is better than Black, right? That's what the structure or the setup of this country is supposed to be. And then man is better than woman. And where does that leave us? Obviously we're not white, so we're in the lower column. We're not men, so we're even low. And I hate how pervasive it has been, and it's very subtle sometimes. The beauty industry for the longest time ignored Black women, period. There's nothing beautiful about you. We are not going to make makeup for you. We are not going to have you in our ads. Nobody wants to see you in a
only if it's a relaxer.
Yeah, well, but that's Black. That's geared towards Black women, Black business, whatever. But it's never been, Black women have never been mainstream beauty. There's still those microaggressions of, oh, you're beautiful for a Black woman, right? There's always that.
Naomi Taylor and Iman, I feel like when we were growing up, the Black models, like the Black images.
Yeah.
Tyra Banks.
But the fact that you can name them, all of them right now, right? Instead of just saying, hey, this is, it's bad. It's just really bad. And when you take
I don't care how,
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I don't care how strong you are, unless it's kind of like, we always talk about that clip we love of Venus and Serena, where the dad comes in and is like, hey, you'd have been told. And it's just
this is a little Black
unless
girl
you've been raised like that.
And
I think there, obviously that wasn't enough, because we see the skin, like we've seen the skin lightening and things like that. So it's like, what is enough to make a Black woman feel, and I'm generalizing, obviously, God, but like, what is enough to make us feel secure when society is always like secure enough to step into that divine feminine, which I think a lot of us do or try to do, when society is telling us, almost making it where we have to be masculine and we have to be on defense all the time because you're coming at us all the time.
It's really hard to have that security when there are real life aspects that are making you unsafe. Like we've talked about, medical care for Black women.
Like you're saying, Black women don't feel pain. There you go.
Right.
That's a perfect example.
There's so much where it's more than just a feeling. It's backed by data. It's backed by
Mhm.
like actual facts. Black women are not safe. And there's an undercurrent too of stereotyping that happens to Black women and Black girls. I mean, we really need to talk about
Oh
Black
yeah,
girls
that
as
Black
well,
girls
because
don't feel
there's one thing about Black women, but we're talking about children now. Black
children.
girls
People
are
don't
being
even see them as
over-policed,
kids.
over-policed, over-sexualized for their
Mhm.
age. I mean, it's just all these things are it's really sad. It's scary. I think of this image of there was like a pool party or something in a
Oh God, I don't even want to
neighborhood. The
think
girl
about that.
was
That pissed me off.
16 and the cop was just throwing her. She was in her bathing suit. She was
Yep, he
15 or 16
slammed
years
her,
old. Yes.
handling her
Like
like a
nothing.
grown man. Yeah,
And it's she's a child in a
but
bathing
that's
suit and you're a
girl. Do
man.
you know how many videos that look like that have come out since
Right.
then?
Right.
I'm not even exaggerating. Like
Yeah.
the other day, like I immediately turn off. Like I won't. Like I don't want to see that. But the other day I saw one and it was not the same one, and I was just like, well, this is almost made okay. They're always showing people beating up on Black women. They don't really show you beating up on white women because that's too much for you to take, or any other race.
But I also feel like white women historically have been put on a pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're a prize. You know, don't look at my white woman or I'll drag you behind my car. Don't talk to my white woman
Yeah.
or catcall her or
Yeah,
I'll hang you from a
lynch you.
tree.
Yeah.
Right. So there's all that stuff.
Pedestalized.
Meanwhile, Black women historically have been raped in
Yeah,
alarming
literally.
numbers by white men, right?
Yeah,
Who
and then
claim
back
to
in the
hate
50s
them,
and stuff, I didn't
right?
even know. Like
Yes.
that Chris Rock thing, I thought it was fake news. I was ready. I was like, I'm gonna go on Snopes and this is gonna be fake. No, it wasn't.
Yeah. And I think that is a huge crimes to be perpetrated against Black women. I think rape is very high
We need
up there
reparations.
because of the stereotyping of the Jezebel, the over sexualization of Black bodies, like all of that, plus misogyny and patriarchy, all that put on Black bodies, right? Like that's
Ain't that some shit? I said, ain't that some shit? Oh, ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? Goddamn. The most disrespected person in America is the Black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the Black woman. The most neglected person in America is the Black woman. And that was said by Malcolm X in the 1960s. It is 2022 and nothing has changed. Black women being murdered. We see report after report of Black children, Black little girls being treated like grown women. People lacking empathy for these children because they're Black, because of their Black skin. One of the biggest points of criticism about Black women is we're not stepping into our divine feminine power. And I don't think that's necessarily true, but I think there is a level of vigilance, there is a level of so-called masculinity that is needed when you are not protected. When you have no one supporting you, when you have no one valuing you in your community, when your community is not uplifting you, where do you turn? We know from stories of the past, any transgression against a white woman, no evidence needed. Where is that energy? Not even the same energy, just where is that energy when it comes to Black women? Who is protecting Black women? You know who's protecting Black women? Black women. I just saw, I think it was on Instagram, Ari Lennox. Somebody had tried to give her a backhanded compliment saying, gosh, I wish more Black girls could be like you or something. And she was not having it. She said, oh, she went off. So you have to go look that up. But it's like we're constantly having to defend ourselves, to stand up for ourselves, to basically take the role of the masculine and the feminine. And we all know, like we mentioned, everybody has a bit of both. But how can you let you're down your guard when you're not protected? How? I want to know. What were you saying?
Another thing that came to mind was the little 8 or 9 year old that got maced.
Yo, girl, that pissed
Um,
me off in Albany.
mhm.
But they love showing you that. And they love giving a black movie credit or play, like they got what, race play out on Broadway. Everybody's raving about. They love to see slavery and all of that stuff. And I don't, when I say
Yeah,
they, I don't know. I'm
every
seeing the
slave
masses
movie
who are
gets
in.
an Oscar.
Yeah,
Like every,
exactly. And it's like, why do
I
people
can't
get
watch
off on
that
that so
stuff.
much?
I can't.
Yeah.
Like
But
Django,
that's
I
what the
can't.
marketplace wants. Like that's what the marketplace wants. And why is that? I mean, is it just not happening to other people, or just is shown with us so much? Or is it because, like, I guess it would be good to ask someone who is consuming more, like someone white or something who's consuming media, to see what they see. Maybe is it because we're black, we're seeing that more, and that they're seeing something different? I mean, we do have
Shoot, I could
Lifetime
ask
movies.
Sean.
I mean, we do have Lifetime movies, and we know it ain't roses and fairy tales in anywhere. But that's not the point. It's just like, I know what you mean, like just in general with society, period, that grace that people are given and that validation people are given. And it's, yeah, just by existing. Can't even imagine.
I think it's very hard to feel like you have inherent value when everything around you is telling you
Trying to
don't.
tell you not. And that's the mind. I don't think people understand. And I think we talked about this before. I've always felt good about myself.
Okay.
And so I think it's that disconnect when you are out into the world and the world's trying to like pump up again. And you're like, it's almost like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, are you okay?
Yeah, yeah. But then so much of that has you going home thinking, maybe something ain't right. Like, what?
Yeah, like
Do I need
beam
to
me
do
up.
this?
Like,
Yeah. So it's just hard. And I think there have
the
been
world ain't right.
there's a lot of things that have been done to make it harder. And I think,
Yeah.
with the like just this high incarceration rate and these whack laws that make it so that a lot of Black families are single parent households with moms doing the work, right?
And then
So
these
it's like,
towns of the way the towns got blown up and stuff. And we didn't learn that in school.
girl, what? Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Where these Black towns were just destroyed.
Mm-mm.
Like, I think Rosewood was like the what do you call it? The template, like example of it. But it's just like
Successful Black neighborhoods.
yeah, towns and stuff. People established successful Black townships after slavery, during Reconstruction. Black people in a lot of places were really thriving. And so what do? Burn them to the
Bomb them,
ground.
burn them.
One of them, I think I forgot what happened. This girl on, I don't know. I have to send you the link. But yeah, then that's what's like the Gap Band. Where are they from? Oklahoma City. They had the Oklahoma City, or I don't know if it's Oklahoma City, but the Oklahoma bombing. And so it's just like all of these different things are telling you your success, your just living a life as a regular person is a threat to society. It's and just existing, you're a menace to society. And that's why people have gotten away with killing us just for existing. We didn't do anything. Like, isn't that insane? And like, how do we reclaim that power? Like, how do we step into our own power? Because we're perpetuating it. Like the Fresh and Fit are in the slave mentality. So now they're perpetuating it. So it's like, and that was my point about that, is everyone's all outraged because of this recent altercation they had, but that was from the archives. So obviously their fan base that's providing them millions of dollars does not care. So that's even more,
it's entertainment,
multicultural, but yeah, Black men consuming it as well. And yeah, entertainment, but also a lot of times entertainment reflects your personal beliefs as well. And especially when they promote themselves as coaches and things like that. So what in the toxicity is going on? And a lot of times, a lot of people who watch this stuff are little boys, because they're looking for that masculine, that male role model that they may not have at home. They go onto the manosphere and look at it on YouTube.
This is all new to me because I have no experience with this man. With
Kevin Samuels is like the mid section of the manosphere.
I can't even watch that because I've heard you guys talk about it enough. But I do feel like there's just in general too, there's the Joe Rogan show and all this man pro testosterone type stuff that men listen to.
What's Joe Rogan's talk? Like, I feel like the little things I've seen on Joe Rogan, he was just talking about like current events and stuff.
I don't know.
And then sometimes he'll talk about meat. Like he'll really go
meat.
wild.
He'll talk about
yeah, just to piss off vegans, I guess. Like, who talks about meat? Just kidding.
Meat eaters. I don't know, but I think it's you asked earlier, like, how do you overcome this, or how do we get past this? And I don't know that that's something that's entirely doable or expected in our lifetime, for sure.
Yeah, definitely not. Oh, I know. It's
so deeply embedded in this country, and it's passed on.
This world, where can we go? There's literally nowhere we can go. Even if we went to a country in Africa.
I mean, I bet though, Africa, I mean, we would be Americans. We'd be different.
Yeah.
But I think that beauty would be appreciated there.
Yeah, definitely.
Our outward aesthetic would be appreciated.
Well, that's
there.
like I feel like that's one of the secret things. Like, I don't know if it's beauty or what, but I feel like people do appreciate the beauty of Black people. And that's, what did they say? I forgot. Imitation is the something.
The highest form of flattery.
And that's all they do.
And I think it's more appropriation in the sense that you love full lips. You go get your lip injections. You love golden dark skin. You'll go sit in a cancer-causing tanning bed and go get that. You love hair. You'll get a perm. You curl your hair. You do all this stuff. Like, you love these things, right? Love these things.
But not the human of it.
But not right. It's what's that shirt? I have a shirt, love Black people like you love Black culture.
And it's kind of like, or like you love some other things, because there was like White Lotus, and that show really, that show is a whole show about, yeah, it's like an HBO show, and it all talks about like how people use their privilege to, manipulate people and control like those who don't have that privilege. And a lot of times, who are the people without the privileges? People of color, Black people, everybody. And so it was like seeing them manipulate and like using people as playthings almost. And it was just like, ugh. You see a value in the person for whatever, something physical, something interesting, like a curiosity maybe. And then it's like, oh, I'm done with that. So it's like, is it a person? Are you seeing this person as a whole soul?
I don't know.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, it is valued, like the beauty is valued, but it's not at the same time.
Is anybody else talking about, quote unquote, their woman that way? Like, are there Asian men out there just slamming Asian women? Are there white men out there slamming white women? Like, why?
Self-hatred, slavery, the need to.
But it's like, then hate yourself. Like, quit, don't bring me up in this.
That's the ultimate sign of self-hatred, is showing disrespect like that, like they do. And that's like these people in the manosphere. I'm not saying obviously not all of anything does that, but I think it's too prevalent to pretend like it doesn't happen. I don't care what the statistics say, blah, blah, blah. This is too prevalent to sit back and say, well, that's just some people. No, it's constantly thrown in my face. People saying things like that. And it's like,
that's messing with your energy.
It's not messing with my energy, but I'm passionate about it, because it's like, why do you feel the need to express your hatred towards me? I'm not coming for you.
Maybe we need to talk to somebody about that.
Yeah.
Who can we talk to?
Is it like they're mad at their mothers? Like, weren't they not raised right? And they had a traumatic childhood, and they're blaming Black women for their.
But here's the thing, though, and this is why I think it's ridiculous. Is like, these guys, fresh and fit, or whatever you call them, right? What is it? Fresh and fit? Yeah, they don't know you. So why are they dragging you through the mud? They don't know somebody down the street, like. But it's almost like such a huge generalization about all Black women, right? Which we know is ridiculous. I mean,
Shaniqua.
Yeah, who Shaniqua is. I don't know.
Do you know why, though? To give you context,
they're shuffling. Like, they're doing the dance.
Like, they like the IG model BBL. Well, I don't even know about the BBL, but they like the IG model kind of people, shallow.
Good for them.
Kind of people. So I feel like there may be an overabundance there. I don't know. But either way, that's not everybody. And they even had the nerve to be like, oh, our moms are Black or something like that. Like it makes it okay for them to say, you did you did a bad job. You did a bad job. But it's like, so you're saying that you respect Black people, but then you like, make it make sense.
Oh, they use that as an excuse?
Yeah, like, oh, I love my sister. One Fit Fresh was like, I love my sister, I love my mom. They were both like, we have Black moms. This is not against Black people,
And
but
what it the but
you sit and
right?
then you sit there and insult Black people, and it's like nobody was even coming for you. Let
I
Black
gotta
people.
check that and see what they're talking about, because that
Yeah,
maybe we
check it
can
out. I think
watch
I
that
sent
and
you
then
the
have a
link.
lot do a live on it or something.
Yeah, we can talk about it in a few.
Yeah, because I don't know what. But yeah, wow. I feel I haven't been consuming much of anything as far as like media is concerned. Like I just
Good for you.
have been in my own vibe trying to get my stuff
That's the
together.
best way to be, honestly, if you
So
can do it.
but it sounds like there's so much negativity out there. Like if I watched one, I'd probably keep watching and fall into that rabbit hole and then just have a whole feeling about everything. But I wonder, this isn't new. Is it
And
just
I've even
that
read you Soul on Ice. Remember I read you that thing? Let me find that.
probably, I don't know, we talk about so many
That'd be
things.
making me mad. I mean, I don't know. The guy has passed away. Eldridge Cleaver. And Soul on Ice, he was a Black Panther. He later became like a Republican Party person. He was in
This
prison
sitting
for
wrong with me.
right.
Like
Thank you.
I'm married to a white man, but I would never ever
Be like, I don't like
say
you dated
anything.
Black
Right. And
people.
I have nothing negative to say.
Exactly.
I mean, they're all individuals. It's not like the whole race of men is messed. Like, why would
Yeah,
you do that?
exactly. I'm trying to date Black people. I'm trying to date all
Hey,
races. But it's like
hey.
the fact that I haven't isn't because I'm not interested. It's just
Yeah.
like time, place,
And manner.
circumstance.
Time, place, and manner.
I know, guy. No, was not gonna say that. Okay, where'd it go?
I just have, or just any, I mean,
Like, yeah, does your husband be
just
like, "Oh, I
why?
chose you because I can't fucks with the white women. Ugh,
No.
I
And
can't
you know
do
what? If
that."
he said that, I'd be like, what is wrong with
Right?
you?
Like people
Like,
think that like they think they're
that doesn't
like
make me feel
showing
better.
praise to
Yeah,
white
you're not
women
praising.
by insulting
No.
Black women. Like, I don't know what their logic is there, but really it's like shuffling for massa. That's what I
Yeah.
see it. It's like, yeah, I'm a good boy. Look, I hate my own people. Like,
Because
what the
you can
hell?
have a preference, right? You can be attracted to what you like. I like long hair, short hair, light eyes, dark eye, big booty, this, whatever.
Yeah.
That's everybody's entitled to that, right? But it doesn't mean, like, for me, I like a certain type of dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're not that type of dude, you're not a terrible person. I just don't have a whatever towards you. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, I don't need to knock down all guys with small calves. You know what I mean? Like, that's not,
F
that's
y'all.
not,
This is
yeah.
what I thought. Like, the way you say that, it's so funny because I look back and I used to be big into like Yelp reviews and stuff. And then I'm like,
Mhm.
what of these Yelp reviews were truly like something bad and which were just not my taste? Like, because if it's just not my taste, move on, sis.
Right.
Everybody has different effing taste buds. Get over
Mhm.
yourself. Like, come on.
And that carries to everything, right?
Yes.
So
Okay,
I
let's
don't
see.
know.
Okay, here we go. Okay, this is from Soul on Ice by Eldridge Cleaver. He says, I'm gonna read the whole thing. You could cut it out. You could cut out whatever you want. Okay. But he says, there is no love left between a Black man and a Black woman. Take me, for instance. I love white women and hate Black women. It's just in me, so deep that I don't even try. Now, this is like supposed to be, I forgot how it's set up. So this is not actually him talking. It's like talking to an inmate in a fantasy world or something like that. I could be completely wrong, but it's something like that. But he says, take me, for instance. I love white women and hate Black women. It's just in me, so deep that I don't even try to get it out of me anymore. I jump over 10 N-word bitches just to get to one white woman. Ain't no thing as an ugly white woman. A white woman is beautiful, even if she's bald-headed and only has one tooth. It's not just the fact that she's a white woman that I love. I love her skin, her soft, smooth white skin. I like to just lick her white skin as if sweet, fresh honey flows from her pores.
I
And
can't
just
hear
to
anymore.
touch her long.
Please stop. Please stop.
That sounds like Fresh and Fit right there. Did they write this? And this was like in the 60s.
My thing is this though too, is it's not white women's fault.
Oh yeah,
You
we're
know?
not. I'm not. Obviously.
Well, I want to make that clear because
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes this can turn into, oh, they talking about this, and they're just jealous, or and it's not even about that.
Yeah.
It's not about that. I can't like.
But yeah, and I think that's where the conflict comes from, because then it's that internalized, well, this is about me. So I didn't do anything. I'm just existing. Like, don't, vilify me. No, you're not being vilified just because you're part of the story.
But I think that's something that's also part of the manipulation that we've talked about, is
like a gaslighting almost. That reality
is
is
for a long period of time, white women or black women hated white women who took their men, type thing, or as a seeing that mix upset, and still today upset a lot of black women. I know this. I have felt that in my experience and in movies, and like waiting to exhale. You know what I mean? There's a culture of it, or of he's successful, right? Yeah. He's successful. He's obviously got a white wife.
But I was just thinking about Holly Robinson Peete. She's been married to her husband for 30 years. They don't showcase stuff like that because they don't want you to see it.
Right. Well, it's not it's not, Denzel and his wife or whatever.
It's not people fighting each other and calling 911, like Danny Lee and whatever. Baby.
But I feel like that's part of the game, right? You're gonna bash us, right? You're gonna date white women and put them on a pedestal, and then you're gonna make it so we hate each other instead of looking at you because you acting out of
But that's why you have to it's almost like I hate to use the victim word, but it's almost like victim empowerment. We understand the way the system works, that this is operating against us, blah blah blah. How are you going to get firm in yourself where you stop letting those external factors dictate your behavior? And I think that, how do we ever get to a point? These men are making millions of dollars. They ain't gonna wouldn't you want somebody making millions? Why would they give that up to have the opportunity to perhaps have a lifestyle with these people or life with these people?
I don't know what you're saying. You lost me there.
But the way you were saying, what were you saying?
Well, I was trying to say that we have the Fresh and Fit talking about black women, saying that we're less than, don't like us, but whatever, praising white women, dating white women. And so part of the manipulation is to have the women pitted against each other.
But that's what I'm saying. When the women get firm in themselves and don't need that,
I agree.
That's the only time you're going to see a change. But they will always find a woman to buy in. They're never going to have to worry about not making millions of dollars, or not having women come on their show, or not having women hope to get an opportunity to be close to them to perhaps touch those however much they make, and it's just what's the point? And that's why I almost don't want to talk about it, because it just becomes a useless, futile exercise. We're talking about it's not going to do anything. It's probably going to even have somebody go Google them and increase their algorithm and go look at a video. So it's just I think it's dangerous. Women are going to keep doing it, and nothing we can do.
I think it's very dangerous though. If they are being seen as, and they're not the only ones. There's many YouTube people. There's lots of people, on social media who are putting themselves out to be, these gurus or these leaders or coaches.
Yeah.
But they're educating people. They're in quotes. They're educating people on behaviors that can lead to harm for black women, for women in general, with this toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
And so it's very dangerous. It's one of the things, like you said, you don't even want to talk about anymore because it's just so ridiculous and it's so frustrating. But it's also important to address though, because women got to be vigilant. We can't be blind to this. If this is how the thought processes of men are evolving, if they're starting to look at it like you need to have somebody who's fit. What is it? Fit, fab. What kind of woman? You need to have a woman who's
feminine and friendly.
Yeah, fit, feminine, friendly, submissive, all agreeable.
This.
Yeah. So you have to know what's out there to protect yourself, or to be adequately prepared for what's going on in the dating world, I think. I just don't understand it.
But the statistics, I was trying to pull them up to see, but I can't But like there's statistics on like Black women just being murdered, the femicide of Black women.
Uh-huh.
It's just brushed under the rug. Black girls and women killed at a rate at 4 per day in 2020. 45% of Black women experience contact with sexual violence, physical violence. Like nobody.
And a lot of that is about these ideas that people are perpetuating, these stereotypes, these, you know, hypersexualizing Black female bodies, and the lack of worth.
Yeah,
you know, it's
tough.
bad.
It's bad,
and it's a power play. It's not even about I feel like it's a power play. I mean, I think about it when I think about people who are racist, or slave owners back in the day who have taken advantage of Black female, you know, just the bodies of Black women. And it's a power. It has nothing to do with attraction or anything like that. It's power. It's showing that I control you. You know, I can always control you. And until we can get past that, and part of that is, again, the protection we're lacking from our male counterparts.
Yep. But oh no, you can't say that.
I think we just
did.
Like,
you know, it's like accountability in all places. I feel like there's no solution. Like I honestly, to my heart, if I could even think like of a solution, I would have expressed it. But it just feels like this is futile. Like this is just we're just wasting our breath speaking about this.
Well, I think that's why it's just important to work on, you know, control what you can, right?
Exactly.
Which is working on yourself, working on your circle of people, like, and just try to live the best life you can and stay away from the police.
Yeah, right. Live the best life you can. Understand that like those people fresh and fit are the exception. Like that is not the common thought in Black men. And just remembering that, you know, there's a whole world out there. And half of them don't even use the internet, which creeps me out. Yeah. I'm like, how
are you 40%? Out in the world with no internet?
Yeah. I'm like, how are all these billions of people out here using the internet?
I don't know. I think
it's like 40%. 4.5 billion internet users. And what, there are 8 billion people in the world?
Well, I'm sure that's a access issue.
Yeah.
You know,
like,
yeah, and exactly. You know, money and
but still, like, I want to know what they're doing. Like,
they're living life.
Right. They're probably having a good life.
You know, cooking food, growing stuff,
right,
dancing, having real relationships with real people in real life.
Yeah. Living their lives, not even knowing what's going on.
Not worried about
living
fresh and fit.
Right? Dang. And probably fresh and fit because they out there living on the land. Dang.
So,
well, anything else?
Nothing. I'm just gonna keep working on my energy.
Right? Because that my energy went down a little bit, but it's good. Got to remember, control what you can control. Live life and embrace your divine feminine energy. Embrace your masculine. Is it the divine masculine?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there is. If there's a divine feminine, there must be a divine masculine, right?
Yeah.
Balance.
I know yin is yang, so yeah.
Okay.
All right, girl.
Oh, this was a bit of a downer.
Right. That went south quickly.
I'm gonna go put on some music and try to get just vibe with myself.
Yeah, and in between times.
Yeah. So.
All right, girl.
All right.
All right, bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of Two Girls Shooting the Shit with Em and Mo. Please enjoy this mindful moment. When you love another Black person, you have to love each other through 500 years of broken promises, pain, and oppression. When we say Black love, it's not just about Black people being in love. It's the most revolutionary thing you can do.